Hi, you guys. How are you today? It's good to see you. All right, so today we are making happy crafts. Yay, 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 yay. I love everything happy so much. All right, so in this little packet, this is what you are going to find. So all of these fun little jimmies. Some of these are heart shape in case you can't see. So cute. And some of these other ones are just like fun and iridescent, and they come in some different sizes. I'm going to try my best to show you those. Kind of hard to see. Little tiny jimmies. So they're pretty fun. Oh, and the tiny little one just basically disappeared, but very, very little and tiny little gems. Okay, then in this little bag, all of this fun little iridescent confetti. Oh, so much fun. All right, so it's kind of hard to see in the packaging, but basically we're using my favorite product ever, Star Shape Glitter by Nuvo. Oh, love. And this new confetti, which I have just been overjoyed with. And they're like little circles, and they're iridescent, which is very, very cool. Also by Nuvo are the gems and the little heart gems. So we have, they're called cherry hearts and crystal gems, also by Nuvo. All right, so some of my most favorite products. Okay, so what I'm going to start with is, also in the kit, which it's not here, but when you open up yours, is this little vial. I'm really enjoying the little vials because I love everything vial related. So for the crafts, there are two different ones we're doing. There's not a card for this craft today because we're doing two different crafty crafts and not so much cards. Because I made the little vial and I was like, oh, what's so perfect for the little vial is a little box to put it in. Okay, so what I've done here, and I showed you this the other day, but I have cut two pieces of paper. One of them is 5.5 by 3 3/4, I think is what I did. Let me just measure that really fast before I completely say that 100%. Yes, 3 3/4 by 5.5. And this one is a 16th of an inch shorter on two sides. Okay, so 5.5 by 3 3/4, and this is 3 3/4 minus a 16th of an inch by 5.5 minus 16th of an inch. So this one's a little bit smaller. Then I put it on my scoreboard, which is what this is, and I scored the paper at the 1 inch mark. So if you didn't have a scoreboard, you would fold it at the 1 inch. Or sorry, I did it at a 1 1/4 inch. 1 1/4 inch on all four sides because I figured I needed about 1 1/4 inch for the width of my little vial in order for it to fit inside the box. Okay, so that's how that is done. All right. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and there's these little score lines here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut just on one of the little lines here to here and then here to here. I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing. Just the top score line here to here and here to here. Okay. So when you do that, you're actually making these little flaps. And I'm actually cutting right on that little score line. And I'm stopping right at that horizontal line there, okay? So I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, so this is what you end up with, okay? And then when you fold that in, it makes this perfect little box. And I usually fold my two sides in and then my last one to kind of finish it off. I'm gonna use my deluxe adhesive here, if I can find it. I found it. So I'm going to put glue on one tab, fold that over, and then glue on this tab here, and fold that in. Okay, so that makes a nice, consistent, clean edge of the box. All right, now I'm going to do the other side. Okay. So this is side number 1. All right, my little happy box. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Da-da-da. Slicey slice. I love, once you learn how to make a little box, it's super easy to put a little box together. And you can make a box for any little small occasion you may be needing. And hopefully this is going to fit right in there. Ooh, it's going to be a tight fit, but it's going to fit. All right, right, we're going to fold that over here, and I'm going to actually have to trim that down just a tiny little bit, I think. Oh, I might not need to. Ooh. You find if it's going over the edge a little bit, you can always take a pair of scissors and trim that edge off just a little bit. I think I'm going to, because I can see that it's kind of sticking out here a little bit. You can kind of see that. So I'm just going to take a pair of scissors. And when I'm looking down on it, that's when I can really get a nice crisp edge when I'm trimming that down. If you're trying to line it up and you're like looking at it this way, sometimes it can be kind of awkward and you might accidentally cut it at an angle. And I'm realizing here I'm going to have to trim my little tab piece just a tiny little bit in order for that to slide in there and fit. And you'll kind of, when you're putting your box together, you may find, you'll see what I'm talking about. The tab isn't going to fit into place unless you trim that down. Okay. All right, now if I measure this properly, and I'm hoping that I did, this should just slide right on. And it does, and it's a nice snug fit. Perfect. All right, and when you open that up, our little vial will fit right inside perfectly. Well, that worked out nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to decorate the top of my box. So this will fit, which a pre-stamp says happiness enclosed. Yay! So I wanted to put that on the top here. And then I really wanted to wrap this around so that I would have something fun. Now, I don't need very much of this because I'm going to use, I probably only need about maybe half. You might not even need half, but I'm going to do half. And just on the side of this here, I'm going to have this go around several times here. I'm going to tie a little bow. Actually, I'm going to tie a little knot. Because I want this to be very fun and iridescent and kind of just scream happiness when you look at it. Because that's why it says happiness enclosed. Yay! Because maybe you're sending a little prezi to someone, or maybe you just want to spread some joy to a friend, or maybe you want to save this for yourself on a rainy day. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So kind of what I've done here is I've wrapped it around several times and I tied it in a knot. And then I'm going to trim that off. Now, I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun right now. And I need to wait for my hot glue gun to heat up. So I'm going to come back to this in a moment. All right, now I'm going to work on my vial. Okay, so I really love things that just bring me joy. Of course, of course, of course. And one of the things that brings me so much joy is everything rainbow. So I have my little palette here, and really in life, something that I really just aim for is surrounding myself with just things that just bring me joy. And one of those things that brings me joy is this bright, vibrant rainbow color. So in my little palette here, something that I just love about using my little rainbow palette is organizing all my little tiny things that make me happy. And so I guess that's why I love this craft so much, is because I get to organize things that bring me joy. So this is a great opportunity for you if you have one of those little palettes or a cute little plate. Maybe you have one of those little plates that's like a cheese plate, a charcuterie board, or whatever the heck it's called, where there's all those little sections. You can bring it into your craft room and then fill it with tiny little art supplies. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Anyways, the idea is that you're putting things into your little palette here that you're going to put into your vial that are going to bring you true joy and happiness. And that's why I guess when I was doing this, I started walking around and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this and I love this. And I walked into my kitchen and who's going to be surprised with this? My favorite things are my rainbow sprinkles and my rainbow star-shaped sprinkles. Yes, they are star-shaped sprinkles, you guys. Those do exist. And then, of course, my confetti. So what I want to do here is I'm actually going to pour out my little confetti into my little cups here. And there's not a ton of confetti in there, but there is enough to make you happy. Trust me. There's enough to make you happy. If you really want to separate all the little stars into one little container and the little pink pieces in another container, and you actually have time to do that, go for it. I'm not going to do that right now because that seems annoying. But if you have your little containers, you can put each one into each, or your little confettis, you can put different confetti in each little container. And then I'm going to pour out some of my little sprinkles. Oh, look how happy these are, you guys. Oh my gosh. And then I'm going to do my little star-shaped sprinkles. And you know what? I'm just going to like kind of go around my craft room here and see if I can find anything else. Now, you are going to do the same thing with your craft room. I'm sure of it. You'll go around and you can find different things. This is really fun. This product is called Shaved Ice. Look how cool this is. Oh my gosh. And it's just like kind of fluffy. I'm going to add that here. All right. Because now I've kind of created this like amazing like craft consortium that is just like bringing me joy. And you know what? I have this tiny little spoon. I love tiny little spoons. My best friend Jordy, she watches these a lot, or she I don't know if she watches these, but she knows me pretty well. She knows that I love tiny spoons a lot. So I'm really into tiny spoons. I'm gonna keep one of my glitter jars here. Okay, so let's see what we have created. Look at this joy. We have star-shaped, oh my gosh, sprinkles. We have the shaved ice. We have rainbow sprinkles, the confetti, the little gemmies, the other little gemmies, and of course my favorite, glitter. All right, now it's time to add the things into the little jar. So what's cool about this is that this is a really great opportunity to like maybe go into your kitchen and find cool funnels and get out the fun little spoons that you never use. Like, you know, like what's that? The melon baller. That was a great time to use your melon baller. That was a great time to use some of those little random little things you have laying around your kitchen. I'm going to use this tiny little funnel that a friend gifted to me. It's for glitter. It's literally for this process. And so I'm actually going to use it now to, I hope you guys are just enjoying this. Scoop glitter into the little vial, into the little funnel. This is just like so ridiculously cute. How are you not like flipping out? I hope you're screaming on the other side at the cuteness of this. Okay. And if I wanted to, this little funnel came with a tiny little baby spoon. If you were like, there's no way there's a spoon smaller, guess what? There is a spoon smaller. That's right. With a tiny little filigree top on that. Isn't that so cute? All right. So I'm going to use my tiny little baby spoon to apply some tiny little confetti in here. And again, as we're doing this, I'm just thinking about all the reasons why this just makes me so ridiculously happy. Oh my gosh, of course I could have just poured it in, but you know what? The actual process of scooping it in here, it just brings me so much joy. Oh my gosh, look at how happy that is. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the moment here and just scoop the rest of my little goodies. I'm going to use my little bit larger mini spoon here to scoop all my little treats in here. All right, I'm going to fill this up. And this is a great activity probably for you if you love things. If you're watching this, you're probably enjoying everything rainbowy like me. And this will probably make you happy too to make your own version. But you know what? Kids love this too. And these little gems fit in. And you can talk about different things that make them happy. And you know what? This is a great activity for kids if you want to like learn about counting. Because you could talk about counting all of these tiny little things, the tiny little sprinkles and all the different colors. And you could talk about all the different kinds of colors that are in there. And how this is a type of rainbow and this is a kind of rainbow. Because your sprinkles here, this is a vibrant rainbow. Where your sprinkles here, this is a pastel rainbow. So you can talk about that, and you can talk about what iridescent means, which picks up like all your rainbow colors, where you have matte colors, which is what these are, and glossy colors. I guess these are a little bit glossy. Oh, they're tiny bit glossy, and these are definitely going to be glossy. So you can talk about different finishes and things like that. So kids like to learn about things. I don't know, and they like to fill up tiny little things and just make sure that you really, if you're going to be combining sprinkles and glitter, that you either seal your vial so that kids do not open it up and eat the sprinkles, or you tell them that the sprinkles are poison once they go in here so that they don't eat them, or, you know, just remind them that that's plastic, little particles of plastic in with your glitter. And so do not eat the sprinkles. All right, we're going to fill this up here. Sorry, it is kind of time consuming, but you guys are on the other side of this. This is like really fun. And I just love this confetti so much. All right. Okay, now the last little bit here, I'm going to use a piece of paper. If you just grab a random piece of scrap paper, you can pour all your final little pieces, especially if you're going to use them all the rest of it. Whoa, not the sprinkles. Sprinkles are going to go flying. Flick this. Gather up this. I'll pour that in the best I can. I'm going to clear off my surface here in a moment too. Okay, so now I'll put all my little goodies away over here. All right, so now we're going to seal this up. So to seal this, a little baggie out of the way here too, and my spoon. Oh gosh, that almost went flying. Oh my gosh, this looks so fun too. It just looks fun. I'm going to scoop up the last little bit that I possibly can. If you guys saw this little dust here of magical glitter and sprinkles, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so Ellie. And it really is. Okay, I'm just going to push that on the floor now, because I can always vacuum later. All right, so now we have created this amazing masterpiece. From your side, you're probably like, I don't even know what that looks like. But you know what? From my side, it looks like happiness. True happiness. Okay, so now you're going to get a brown piece of paper bag like this. And guess what? When I say paper bag, I mean literally a paper bag from the grocery store. Tear off a piece like this. It's this part right here that you want. Whoops. It doesn't, oh my gosh, a bigger piece than what I just did there. So, it's the part of it that doesn't have any writing on either side. That's the part that you're going to want. And I always do a ripped edge. Okay. So, this kind of stuff. Full size. It's a nice weight to it. You don't want this jagged edge on it, like from the actual bag itself. You want to kind of rip that off. So, you're going to be kind of looking at kind of pieces kind of like that. Okay. Then, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of crinkle this up just a little bit. And one of these pieces I'm actually going to fit right over the top of my vial. And I'm actually going to make sure it kind of wraps all the way around, and I'm going to kind of press it down and kind of hold it kind of straight. Now, if you wanted to use hot glue and glue that in place, that's a great idea too. I'm not going to use hot glue to glue it in place. I'm just going to do this because maybe one day I want to open it up. If you never want to open it up, use hot glue. Go for it. Now, the rest of this iridescent twine we're going to use here to wrap around this. And it's going to kind of fall into the little grooves of the bottle as you kind of pull it tight. Don't pull it too tight, but pull it tight enough that it's going to be nice and taut around there, holding that brown bag in place. And as you come around, you're going to tie it in a knot. You can kind of pull on your strings to make sure that your little brown bag topper is not going to fall off. All right, so there is what you have there. And I love the little iridescent twine because although the brown bag kind of makes it a little bit more casual, it just kind of reminds me of like a fun little magical apothecary kind of thing, kind of sitting on the shelf, like, oh my gosh, like in your spice cabinet. Like, you know, obviously you're not going to use it for spices, like for actual cooking because there's glitter in it. But how fun at the very top, like for fairies only or something like that. Something sounds like something I would do. I might actually put it in my spice rack. Just to kind of, as an added little fun thing. Just make sure your kids don't eat it. Make sure kids can't access it if you've got kids in the house. All right, so we're going to call this Happiness. With a pen that actually works though. Here we are. All right. And then you can use E6000, we're gonna call this Happiness. You know what, I'm actually gonna rename this. I'm gonna call this Bit of Happiness. Yes. That's what I'm calling this. I'm calling this A Bit of Happiness. Love it. See my cute little label. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this label as small as possible. So that it takes up the least amount of space on my vial. So it says Bit of Happiness. So cute. All right. Now I'm going, so you're going to want to use the Ultimate Glue or Hot Glue or E6000 to adhere your label to your little vial, because there's certain glues that just won't ever dry on your vials. And I'm going to go ahead and just apply that there. And there we have that Bit of Happiness. Oh, so cute. And it's just so joyful. Okay, so now that we've created this little bit of happiness, now we're going to go back to the little box. And of course, your brown bag, you can just recycle that. All right, so now, since my hot glue gun is, of course, all heated up. Oh, I left one of my hearts. I should have left a heart out. Hopefully you are watching this ahead of time and you left a heart out so you don't have to dig and open up your little vial. I'm going to dig in my little container here and pull a heart out. So the biggest heart I'm going to save for my little box. Okay, and now right here at the knot, right here on the top here, I'm going to glue a little heart down. Because I just feel like that really makes this kind of complete here with the happiness. So cute. Nope, it's not quite in the middle. That's really going to bother me. I'm an in the middle kind of a person. Like, I really want it to be perfect. Okay. All right. And now, it says happiness enclosed there. And now I'm going to put this on the front of my little box. And I'm actually going to use hot glue for this part too because I want it to dry immediately. And I'm just going to press that on the top of my box. Very, very cute. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and finish that off. Now, if you happen to have a red pen or a red marker, now would be a great time to kind of decorate your box, make it a little bit more fun. I want, since I'm using red because I've used red for the stamp here, and I'm going to add some little swirls and curls here. If you have a brush pen, which is what this is, you can use the tip to actually kind of get skinny lines and then do heavy lines. And so you can kind of get these fun little swirls and curls in here. And I'm going to use the brush tip actually to make some kind of fun little splash marks as well. Alright. And splash marks really make it look extremely amazing and fancy with very little effort. To create a splash mark, you're just going to use the tip of the brush as a little kind of as the point, like this. Oops, like so. And then I kind of go up on my pinky as I want it to get kind of smaller and smaller, or I kind of lay it more flat as I want it to get kind of larger. Oops, there we go. Kind of messed that one up a little bit. It's kind of hard to do this on a small box. All right, there we have it. I'm going to do a couple more over here. All right, there we have it. Happiness enclosed, fun little box here. We're going to open this on up. I'm going to put my little vial of happiness inside. All right, and there we have it. There's today's little 2 for $10 craft. Enjoy, you guys. Have fun. See you later.